Hey Ryan, welcome back to the vlog. I told you I'd be back sooner rather than later, so we're going to be a little bit more consistent with the uploads. And today what we're going to be talking about is this facility here, because I haven't actually given a full rundown and a full kind of process of actually getting the facility up and running. So that's what we're going to be going through today, because hopefully we can get some bugs in here soon and get cracking on some things. So let's get into it. Okay, so this new facility, now it's a little bit of a messy video because we've had this facility built for about 2 years now, and we're still kind of like going through the process of actually finishing it off, but it is very close. Now, I don't know where I put all this footage. I thought I might have filmed bits and pieces, and turns out I've pretty much only got Instagram story videos, so people would have seen them before. Of the new facility actually going up, however not actually broken down into a video of like this is all the processes that we've had to go through. So I apologize that I don't have any footage like this, and I've only got Instagram stories, so you'll just see like a little video pop up here going through the steps that we actually had to take to be able to get to this stage now. So the first thing we obviously had to do is we made the decision to build this new facility because we were using the shipping containers, but we found that like it is just hard work having to move and be able to grow crickets or whatever we might be growing insect-wise in the containers. It's actually just getting in there and being able to process the crickets and not having enough space to be able to actually move freely in there. So we made the decision to build a facility and make it purpose-built. So what we have to obviously do is we have to lay a foundation. So a lot of clearing land, and this is where the videos will start popping up as well. So we had to clear all the land and make sure we had enough flat ground there. We had to then obviously build a shed, and to do that, we just built a simple steel frame, and then we obviously then had to put down a foundation as well. So there's videos of us putting concrete here, moving that all in. And that was just a bit of a messy process because that's not something you can really do yourself. You have to obviously get other people in to do that job as well. So there's an extra cost. And we knew this from the start that the cost was going to be really high to be able to build a facility like this. But we wanted to make sure that we could actually build a more efficient facility, better at holding heat in, cheaper to run, even though it's bigger on scale. And then also just being able to have a room, like you see here behind me, a room where you can actually move freely to be able to process and pack up the bugs. It just makes it a lot easier rather than just having to work in a shipping container. So after we obviously got the walls up, all the steel frames up, we then had to think about how we're going to insulate it. And we thought we were going to eventually barricade off the shed, which we haven't yet. So we've just got the insulation up, like you could see previously at the start of the video, but then also us here now putting up the insulation itself. So this was a bit of a tricky job, but we eventually got there. So now what we have is we have 2 rooms essentially. And you can see those 2 rooms here behind me, and you would have seen it in the last video. So we've got 2 and 1 there, and they're just massive insulated rooms with air conditioners. And that might be a little bit dark, hopefully you can see that all right, but we've just got these huge rooms, and we're actually using the exact same sort of setup. And obviously too, this is another thing, we've gone a lot higher with our facility. So rather in the shipping containers, we can only have 4 bins high, whereas with these rooms, we can have up to 6, right? So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high. And now in here, this is actually 2 shipping containers plus another one in terms of bins. So it's essentially like we have 3 shipping containers in the one room. So if we have, eventually what we're gonna do is we have to now cut up, and I'll put a little bit of footage on the screen here as well of us actually making all these bins as well, because we have to make all these bins again for the other room. So essentially what we're going to have is this facility is 6 shipping containers big. So it's a huge facility because at the moment, prior to this, we were only having 2 shipping containers running at full capacity. So it is a big jump, and it was a very expensive jump. And it was just really unfortunate that just as we kind of started running into that inbreeding issue that I talked about in the last video, we had a massive inbreeding issue as we finished this facility. So we haven't really been able to use this facility to be able to sell all the crickets that we want to sell, to be able to obviously pay off this facility first of all, but then 2, just be able to use it as we would. Now, probably the last thing that we then also had to kind of organize for this new facility is power. So obviously too, we had to then dig a main power line going all the way across back to the other sheds, because at the moment we were running just previously off a shed behind us, but because this facility is bigger, it requires more power, we had to then obviously dig a new power line in as well. So it was a bit of a massive process actually getting this all together, from the foundation to putting up the walls to putting the insulation in to then actually building all the tubs. And then we still haven't fully finished off this facility. As you can see, we've got one more room that we still want to actually get running. But overall, this facility has been amazing when we've been able to use it, and hopefully soon we can have this full with crickets and we'll be absolutely loving it, which will be great. So another thing too, what I've just wanted to touch on as well, because we have such a big facility that can obviously catch a fair amount of rain, we now have a massive rain tank out here as well to be able to catch all this water, because this is one of the best things about crickets and insects just in general. They don't use a lot of water, so we don't have to pull any water out of the river. We live on the riverfront here in Loxton, South Australia, so we do have a nice river that we could pull water from, but we don't want to, because we're trying to do something more sustainable rather than having to always pull water out of the river. So hopefully this facility, and obviously you can see that shed behind us too, which is connected to rain tanks, but we have enough water that we don't actually have to touch any water or buy any water for cleaning, for processing, for feeding, for making sure everyone's hydrated, which is really, really good. And two, like, it's just a nicer space in here as well, and having this lift system as well, you would have seen that on the YouTube videos. It makes it a lot quicker and more efficient. Like, for us to be able to do essentially what was in here, 3 shipping containers worth of crickets, like, we were getting it done in half the time compared to when we had to then change in between facilities and climbing up and down ladders to be able to then get to feeding. Like, you just put all your food on this tray and away you go. You might have seen it in some other previous stories, so hopefully I can find something to put up here as well of us actually just driving the lift and using it. It's amazing. So we're going to keep going down that pathway, and, you know, who knows, eventually we might knock out this wall here and build, you know, another facility going longer again and turning this into a bigger processing room. But that's many years down the track, and we've got plans to hopefully be able to go bigger, but we just have to get back on track with selling some insects. So that's pretty much everything from start to finish. And I know it's not the best video because I lost a lot of the footage, so I promise the future videos are going to be better and they're going to make a lot more sense, and they're going to be, you know, hopefully a little bit more organized. Just with the huge die-off, building a new facility, and then also trying to keep track of everything while trying to live normal life has just been a nightmare, so I apologize for that. But we're getting back on track, and in the next video, you know, you're going to probably see something pretty special, because we've got a new insect here on the farm that we're going to be growing, and I'm really looking forward to showing you guys that and talking about, like, just how much better it is than growing crickets, because crickets are good, don't get me wrong, I do like crickets, but these things are also pretty impressive too. So thanks for paying attention, and yeah, look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.